Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or should I say our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? We got a lot to talk about today, so grab your coffee, maybe a snack. Let's get into it. Oh, Madonna me, I'll tell you. There's a lot going on, but when is there not a lot going on, right, Stormy Bug? It's crazy. The May newsletter is out. I will be sending that out tonight, okay? And also, before we get started, I am going to be starting something new in our community, okay? And I would love for everyone to participate. I'm going to be starting an ABG community cookbook. So please email me all of your wonderful recipes that you hold dear to your heart. And I will be putting them in a cookbook and then putting that into PDF form and sending it out. Okay. And everyone who contributes will be getting a copy of the cookbook. Would you quit? He is just an attention getter today. Yes, you are. And everyone who gets the newsletter will be getting a copy of the newsletter as well. If you would like a copy of the newsletter, listen to me. If you would like a copy of the cookbook, please let me know. It's going to take a while for me to get it all started, though, because, it's going to take time for some recipes to trickle in. So let's get into it, okay? So this email came to me from a subscriber, and he said, recently, all of the Giant Eagle grocery stores I patronize here in and around the Pittsburgh area got new shopping carts. They replaced the metal shopping carts with ones that are mostly plastic. This morning, I went to one of these stores. It is located in a shopping complex that has many other stores. I parked in the lot kind of far away from the Giant Eagle, and when I was done loading the groceries into my SUV, I started pushing the cart back. I was surprised to see an employee coming towards me. He was clearly there to retrieve this cart. I thanked him for taking it, and that's all that happened. But I'm wondering if I tripped a sensor that when I took the cart beyond a certain point in the parking lot. No. Really? I mean, it's possible. Listen, what was it? Last year we talked about carts that were coming about that would start tracking you. And if this is coming about now, it should be of no surprise, honestly. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. Whoa. All right. So, on to this. Guys, has anybody else experienced that? Huh. Okay, so the big R, right? You know what I'm referring to. Forces are stealing farm equipment from thousands and thousands of tons of grain from farmers in areas that they have now occupied, as well as targeting food storage sites with artillery. Multiple sources have told MSM, okay? Now, the phenomenon has accelerated in recent weeks as Russian units, have tightened their grip on parts of the rich agricultural regions of Kherson, and that's Kherson. And Yeah, this word, not even going to try it. Zaporizhia. Can you imagine me trying to pronounce that? Didn't think so. And that is in the southern Ukraine. And the sowing operations in many of these areas have since been disrupted or abandoned. Now, the actions of these forces may threaten the harvest this year in one of the world's important grain producing countries. Now, you know that the Ukraine is known as the world's breadbasket. Yes. So the volumes involved are said to be humongous. Okay. Now, Oleg Nivie, is a agrarian specialist in the Kyiv School of Economics. And he told the MSM that on the eve of the invasion, 6 million tons of wheat and 15 million tons of corn were ready for export, but much of it held in the south of the country. Now, the Ukraine's defense ministry said on Thursday an estimated 400,000 tons of grain have been stolen to date. Farmers and others in these areas have provided MSM with details of multiple thefts. How low can you possibly go? How low? In late April, soldiers removed 1,500 tons of grain from storage units known as elevators in the Kherson village of Mala, Lepetykha, using trucks with Crimean number plates. And the next day, those same trucks, there was 35 of them, returned and emptied large storage units known as grain silos. In Melitopol, and that's Melitopol, which is an occupied city, okay, the mayor, Ivan Fedorov, shared a video that showed these trucks, several bearing the letter Z sign of the Russian military, carrying grain towards Crimea. The main elevator in the city had been emptied. They went through all of the villages, every yard, looked for agricultural machinery, for grain, which they subsequently looted. And these soldiers are acting like criminals. First, they offer to buy the grain for a ridiculously low price. If you don't agree, they take everything from you for nothing. The scale of looting is simply overwhelming. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. How low can you possibly go? I am in total disgust that this is actually happening to these poor people. That it would happen to any country. Okay, on to this. A subscriber said, so the corn tortillas say that they are 12.6 ounces and is smaller than the flour, which states 11 ounces. And she asked, is this shrinkflation or mislabeling? And I emailed her back and I said, no, this is definitely shrinkflation. Same brand, same everything, but much, much smaller. So this email came to me from a subscriber saying that the YouTube channel Poplar Preparedness put out a video and said that the Railroad Union Pacific is cutting loads by 50%, the deliveries of diesel and DEF, to the pilot service stations. The reason no one is hearing about is because if they complain about it, Union Pacific is cutting them off 100%. Apparently, there was a meeting, and he was reading the article in Pilot, was one that came up and testified. So now they are going to have to start trucking the majority of their fuel, and it's going to push prices even higher. Most coal use e-rails, and it powers electrical plants. The railroads are saying that they can't get the parts to fix their locomotives. They're cannibalizing old locomotives because they farmed it out overseas, and the mechanics were laid off because of the Rona. No one wants to work for them now. BNSF, 60 days to 6 months for them to clear the backlog. Jeez. Wow. So there's actually a link for that, okay? And it says it right here that some gas retailers fear that the rail crisis will cut into the nation's diesel exhaust fluid and biofuel supply. Union Pacific ordered pilot travel centers to cut rail shipments by 50% or face embargoes. Pilot's chief executive told the U.S. Surface Transportation Board the restrictions will prevent the company from keeping many markets supplied and will likely trigger reduced trucking capacity. Does it not seem like things are just getting worse and worse every single day? It's like you can't even compute anything in your brain anymore. I mean, I literally sometimes I feel so overwhelmed. But you got to get this stuff out. You really do. I mean, it's just awful. So this email was sent along with a picture. She said, good morning. This picture comes from a Facebook friend of hers. You'll need more than chocolate and a snack for this one. Oh, Lord. She said maybe a bottle of good old Italian vino. Oh, Madonna mia. Oh! Talk about no baby formula at all. Okay, now a subscriber has a question. She said, my question is regarding how long something is good for. Okay, now we've talked about best by dates. We've talked about expiration dates on this channel many, many times. Yes. So she says, example, everything everyone tells you, shelf life of place item here, right? But once it is opened, how long is it actually good for? Like powdered goods in 5-gallon buckets. I have a smaller family and probably won't go through things as fast as larger families might. So once I open a can or a bucket, how quickly would I need to use it? I already would need to buy the powdered goods in smaller can sizes for this reason. Okay, well, this would be my suggestion for you, okay? This is what I would do. If I were to buy, say, a 5-gallon bucket of Augason Farms, blah, 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 okay? I know that if I were to open that 5-gallon bucket of blah, 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 okay, all right, no way we're just going to sit there and use that 5-gallon bucket of blah, blah, blah until it's gone. So what do? You repackage it. Okay? You can repackage using, depending on what it is, okay, mylar bags with oxygen absorber packs. Now, nothing with sugar can go in a mylar bag with an oxygen absorber pack. It can go in a mylar bag, just ixnay on the oxygen absorber pack. Why? Because an oxygen absorber pack will turn that sugary whatever into a block of a brick. Okay? So what I would do is whatever your powdery substance is that you're purchasing, repackage it. Then put it back into the bucket. Okay? That's my suggestion. If anyone else has a suggestion for her, please put it in the comment section. Okay? So, on to this. This subscriber, she sent, this was sent to me, and she, I did not hear about this until you sent this to me, hon. So, this is, just brilliant. Riot and mayhem breaks loose as hundreds of Apple factory workers revolt against CCP lockdown tyranny. Yeah. And this happened where? In Shanghai. According to a report from InfoWars. Now, I know InfoWars, with the guy and everything. He's nuts, but listen. He gets his point across, does he not? So, hundreds of Chinese employees at Apple's MacBook factory in Shanghai confronted and fought with authorities in defiance. Ow, Stormy, you're stepping on my hair. Stop it. In defiance of work site lockdowns meant to increase production. You can't. I'll shut up and I'll just read it. The incident reportedly occurred on May 6 after Apple employees had reached their boiling point over the imposition of a closed-loop production, which basically kept employees quarantined on site to keep them working. Radio Free Asia, or RFA, China released video footage of the confrontation on Twitter. The video is in the article, so watch it, right? Captioning the post with the context of what led up to the incident. Suspected and dissatisfied with closed-loop production, epidemic prevention is too strict. Yeah, I'd say. First they're locking you inside your apartment and taking your keys so you can't leave. Now they're locking you inside your workplace. Sit here and keep working. Excuse you? You sit here and keep working. I'm going home. What the hell? I don't care. Money isn't everything. I'm out of here. Thanks. What the hell? So it goes on to say, Quanta's Shanghai plant was shocked to hear that employees rioted. Shanghai Defang Electronics, a subsidiary of Shanghai Quanta, which has just partially resumed work, experienced an employee riot on the evening of Thursday the 5th. As seen in the video, hundreds of young employees did not obey the command, jumped over the gate, and ran away. I would have done the same thing. What? You can't. Oh my God. I would have been like a linebacker, just pushing everybody back. Get the hell out of my way. I ain't staying here, and then rushed out of the blockade to clash with the guards. It is reported that employees are dissatisfied with the epidemic prevention and control and want to go out to buy civilian materials. I would have done a lot more than that. According to Taiwan-based news outlet UDN, things took a turn for the riotous at the Apple MacBook factory after authorities prevented employees who had returned to work from returning to the dormitory area during off-duty hours, causing employees to panic and worry about returning to a strict state of isolation and control. Therefore, the group rushed into the dormitory area to cause riots, mainly because of dissatisfaction with the strict epidemic control. Yeah. Can you imagine having a family and being locked inside of your job? No, I don't mean. All right, so before I go, listen to this. Subscriber, she got a hold of me. She said, I was watching your show as I always do. Well, thank you, sweetheart. She said you were talking about microgreens. Well, I was interested in microgreens myself, and I asked a friend of mine who owns a veggie produce business what seeds would be best, and he told me to go to TSC and buy a bag of food plot seeds for deer, DEER. It has great seeds in it, and all we do is eat the greens, right? I have not done this yet, but what do you think? I don't know what I think because I've never done that. You'll have to try it and let me know. Has anybody else done this? She said, I have enclosed a picture of the seed mixture. It looks to me as humans can eat all that the bag offers. A large bag that would last for years is only $25. At the end of the season, they go on sale. Huh. All right, so I have pictures that she sent me. Boss Buffet, full season forage, 20 pounds. And there's actually a picture of a deer. All right. I mean, you know, try it. Let me know if you're satisfied. I will look for it. If anybody else has tried this, hey, let's have this discussion. All right, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.